Hi everyone, it's Kate from the Forward Line. I am back this week to talk new sewing pattern releases for March. It was a really good month of releases. There have been some amazing things for you guys to make. I have selected 8 of my favourite. There'll be a blog post as well, so you can go and have a proper look and see everything that has, been released this month. So I'm going to get started. So the first pattern I've got to talk to you about is probably one of my favourites. It's the Valley dress and top from Patton Fantastique. This comes in sizes 6 to 26. How great is this? It's so good. So 2 variations, there's a top and a dress for this. It's a smock sort of style. It's got this lovely bib feature. I'll show you the line drawing so you can get more of an idea. This sort of bib feature at the front. The bib sort of ends almost where your bra strap is, and then the sleeve sort of starts from there, so it starts kind of quite early, and then you get this massive kind of statement sleeve. So there's gathering at the edge of the bib where the sleeve starts, and then also there's gathering at the cuff. There's also some gathering above the kind of where the bib ends along your bust, which means you don't need bust darts. It's quite a relaxed fit. I love this. I really love the top version of this as well. I'll show you that. It's really beautiful. It's just shortened. I think this is a really versatile piece for summer. I think you could totally wear it as a lovely summer dress. You could wear it as a beach cover up. And I think the top actually is quite dressy as well. So it is, I just haven't seen anything like this that I got really excited about for ages, and I think lots of people agree. I've seen lots of people talking about it, so yeah, definitely go and have a look at it because it's an absolute cracker, this one. Next up, I've got the Wren blouse and dress from Chalk and Notch. This comes in sizes UK 8 to 30 with 2 bust cup options. There's A and B and C and D. Again, 2 variations for this. There's a dress and a top, which I've just said. I love this, and I think this is something that will be really useful within your wardrobe. So let's start with the dress. The dress is dropped waist. It's quite loose fitting. It's almost like a shift with a kind of what's the word? Panel of gathering along the bottom. It's a mini dress, so it comes above the knee. There are 2 sleeve options for the top and the dress, so you can either go for a longer sleeve that's got gathering into quite a deep cuff, or you can go for a shorter kind of slightly puff sleeve. You'll see with the shorter puff sleeve it's quite interesting. There's a seam across the sort of middle of the sleeve. I really love this detail. I think it's really interesting. I just think this is a really lovely pattern. I think it's quite useful. There's bust darts, it's got a good size range. It's also got a little bit of shaping at the back, which I really like. I personally am not a dropped waist person, but I really like this. I think this would be really useful for summer. I also like the idea of wearing it over trousers as well, even the sort of the mini dress version. I think it could almost be worn as a tunic. I think it's a really great shape, and it's quite unusual. I haven't seen anything like this, so I hope you agree. It's a good one. Right, next we have got the honey top from Fibre Mood. This is the first of 2 Fibre Mood patterns I've got to talk to you about. We have had so many Fibre Mood patterns released on the site this month, so definitely go and check them out because I think we've had nearly 50 patterns, which is insane, and they are all gorgeous. So because there were so many, I had to include 2. So this is the first of the 2. This is the honey top from Fibre Mood. This comes in sizes 6 to 28. I absolutely love this. I think this is, if you're going to make one thing this spring and you want to be on trend, this is the thing to make. So it's a really beautiful blouse. There are 2 variations. The first variation has got this beautiful ruffle in the collar and a button down front. It looks to me like it's quite short. It's almost kind of slightly, it almost finishes just around your waist. I love this. If you wanted it a bit longer, it'd be really easy to extend, but I think this shape is really flattering. It's quite a loose fit. It's got this lovely detail on the sleeve, so you can see at the bottom of the sleeve there's a sort of tie cuff. The second variation exactly the same shape. The main difference is that the ruffle continues down the centre front placket, which is amazing. So I'll show you that variation too, so you can get an idea. I personally prefer the first version without the ruffle down the front, but if you love a ruffle, I mean, go full throttle. So I think this is if you want to be, I think this will be so useful. I am very, very tempted by this, I have to say. In a like big gingham, it would look amazing, or a small gingham. Anyway, don't need to bore you with my sewing pads for spring. I just think it's a lovely, lovely pattern, and I think you'd get a lot of wear out of it. Love the shape. Especially, it's quite hard to find shirts that have that relaxed fit, so I think this is really lovely. Right, next pattern I've got is a new pattern and a new designer, so Charlotte Emma Patterns. She has released the Barbary jacket. This comes in sizes, it's got 2 bust cut options with this. So the first one comes sizes 4 to 22 is in a B cup, and sizes 20 to 36 come in a D cup. So it's got a really great size range. Anyone who loves vintage clothing, this is a fab jacket to get stuck into. This is definitely a more advanced, so it's a project to kind of get your teeth stuck into. Beautiful. So it's kind of got a nod to the 40s, this shape. It's a tailored jacket, it nips in at the waist, and then it's got almost quite a dramatic sort of curve out from the waist over your hips. That was a real classic shape of the late 40s, and it almost looks a little bit like the New Look jacket that Chanel released, I think, and I think that could have been the inspiration for it. So the jacket's got all your classic sort of tailored parts, got a proper notched collar, it's got princess seams at the front and at the back, which is great, so it means that you can really get the fit on this. Fantastic. It's got a 2-piece sleeve, which is also fantastic. It means you can really get that shaped. It's an involved make, but I have seen some amazing ones made. I also really like, sorry, I'm just looking at the back, the way that the hem is dropped. I think that's really flattering. I just think it's a really lovely, lovely pattern. If you go onto Instagram and have a look at the hashtag, you can see, which is Barbary jacket, you can see some of the testers and some people have made it already, and it looks great on everyone. And I've definitely seen it made and worn with modern outfits, so it doesn't have to be it doesn't have to feel vintage at all. But yeah, it's lovely. I really love this one. Right, up next we've got something a little, we've gone from quite involved to quite simple pattern. This is a Gothenburg top from Itch to Stitch. This comes in sizes 6 to 36. There are A, B, C, D and double D cup options for this pattern. So if you haven't come across Itch to Stitch patterns before, her patterns always have multiple bust cup options. So if you have a smaller bust particularly, or a larger bust, which is kind of, well, whatever size you have, there is a cut for you, which is really nice, especially at the smaller and larger end of the bust options. I think a lot of people, it's a pain, isn't it, that you have to make a full bust adjustment or a small bust adjustment. So if you haven't come across Itch to Stitch, definitely worth having a look at. I put this one in because I think this is a really lovely classic wardrobe staple. It won't take you very long to make and really useful for this time of year where it's a little bit warm, but it kind of not warm enough to be out in t-shirts yet. So the Gothenburg top is got this, it's a jersey pattern. It's very simple, but it's got this lovely sort of, I don't even know how you would describe it. It's almost like an extended boat neck shape, or a funnel neck. What would you call it? It's a hard one to describe, but I love it because it's quite 60s in feel, especially in the stripe, like she styled it. I think it's perfect, and honestly, you could have this whipped up in a few hours. So I think it's a really nice one if you're feeling a little bit like, spring is coming, I need to sort of up my sojo a little bit, but I don't have the headspace to take on something massive, I think this could be a really good option. So up next I've got a men's pattern, which is quite exciting because we don't get that many menswear patterns. This is the men's Jacques coat from Patterns. This is fantastic. So just before I get into this, if you're looking at this thinking, I love this, I wish I could make it. For me, there is a female version, there's a woman's version of the Jacques coat, a men's version of the Jacques coat, and they've also released a kids version of the Jacques coat. So they're all available. So if you wanted to make them for the whole family, I mean, how much time do you have? You can. Or if you're looking for something for your kid and you wanted to make them, there's this in a mini version. But I wanted to talk to you about the men's one because I think it's a really good option. So it comes in sizes extra small to extra, extra large. It's a classic raincoat, so it's like your classic sort of anorak. It's got buttons down the front. It's got a hood. I'm really sorry if you can hear my dog barking. I think the postman has come, which is her nemesis. Yes, I think he has come. So anyway, so it's a two-piece hood. It's got poppers down the front. It's got patch pockets. It's quite a loose, like kind of relaxed fit. I mean, it's your classic kind of fisherman's anorak, and I think you've seen a lot of these. You've seen them in the shops, but I think it's a really lovely project if you wanted to make it for yourself or for your partner or whatever. I think it's a really great pattern, and it's such a classic shape that you'll wear it season on season. So it's definitely something that if you feel like you're wanting to make an anorak, it's a really kind of good staple classic version. Right, next pattern I've got to talk to you about is another Fibre Mood one, but forgive me because it's so good. This is the Carlene Dress. It comes in sizes 6 to 30. I want to include this because this is such a lovely shape. It definitely has that loose sort of smock feel, which is definitely, I've seen a lot of things on the high street. And I think this is quite on trend, and I think it'd be a really fun one to make. Not too many fitting issues because it's relaxed fit. So the pattern, I'll show you the line drawing so you can get an idea. It's got this really nice kind of extended bib with gathering at the front. It's slightly A-line, and it's definitely relaxed fit, and then it's got a panel of gathering at the bottom. And it's got these lovely bell-shaped sleeves you can see in the picture, and there's an optional tie at the waist which you can have or not. Yeah, I just saw lots of these on the high street in lots of sort of ditzy florals, and I think this could be a really nice pattern to make for summer and one that you get quite a lot of wear at. I also like that it's long sleeved. There is a short sleeve version of this as, oh no there isn't, sorry. It is long sleeved. I like this because I think in the UK actually having a dress that has long sleeves is quite useful because it is never really warm. What else have I missed out on this? Probably, oh, raglan sleeves. I knew there was one more thing. So those are lovely and easy to insert. I just thought this was a fab pattern and definitely one that I think you guys would like. Well, yeah, I love it, so I'm sure you'll love it too. So last but definitely not least, we've got the April dress from Forget Me Not Patterns. This is such a cool pattern. So I'm going to show you the line drawings to start with. There are two variations for this dress. I think the thing that is most interesting is the scalloped seam line across the middle of the dress. So if I show you both variations, both the line drawings, you'll have a proper idea, and then I can show you them actually on a person. I have never seen a shape like this. I think it's really interesting. I think it will also be quite a fun sewing challenge, sewing like beautiful curves and making it look nice. There are great options for colour blocking. I haven't told you the size range, have I? It comes in sizes UK 4 to 28. Sorry, I've got away with myself. Yeah, it just the seam line is just so interesting. So the first variation is almost like a shift. It's got this kind of, yeah, the scallop seam down the middle, great for colour blocking. The other version of it has got the same seam line, but it's all gathered into that scallop. So that is more, you know, of the two that's going to be trickier to sew, but I think it's achievable. But I love the look of it when it's finished. I think it's really great. There's an optional tie belt as well, and the rest of the dress is quite simple. You can see it's got little grown on sleeves, round neck, it's got bust dart, but there's very little shaping anywhere else, and everything is kind of concentrated on this really amazing seam. It's so cool. I just haven't seen anything like this at all. I haven't seen anything like this on the high street. I haven't seen anything like this in the indie sewing world. So it's really lovely to see something that you haven't, you know, you've never come across before. And I think it's a really clever idea. I think it would look great on loads of people. And I think you should all make it, because I want to see more of them made. Again, you can look on Instagram for this. There's their hashtag, and you can see other ones that have been made. But I just love it. I think for me, because I'm probably in the more tomboy category, or less girly, I really like the shift version of this. I think it's really great. But yeah, I love the colours that she's used as well for the shift version. That's those sort of powdery colours, I think, are great. Yeah, so I hope that was helpful. I hope that was, sorry, excuse me, I've like got kind of trapped air in me today. I hope that was useful. I hope you found something nice to make. Go and check out the blog post as well, and we will be back soon with another video. Bye!